What the old people know. Our neighborhood is an old one. The community takes pride in this. The established age of the area provides the crux of its identity. My wife and I were once overcome by a morbid curiosity and checked the census records for some idea as to the average age of the average resident in our riding. We were amused and a little displeased to discover that any given resident could be expected to be 55 or older. There is an effective curfew of 8 p.m. and no point whatsoever to hosting any kind of house party. Still, street crime is non-existent, and the transit runs on time. Older generations are wily in a way that evades us millennials and you younger listeners. They are of an era defined by its predation on the young. I very clearly remember the night that this was impressed upon us. We were coming home from a luncheon when we saw a gathering on the lawns of one of the neighbors. Not a single one of them was under 60. Shapeless clothes, wrinkled faces, overweight and unhealthy, but possessed of a strange and vital excitement. An ambulance was parked outside, and the front door hung open. A younger woman was visibly distraught and crying while two paramedics consoled her. I asked one of the old-timers that I recognized what had happened. "Crib death," he said, and a sly look stole over him. I barely suppressed a shudder of revulsion as I looked over the others. Two old women looked suddenly hungry, and one old man coughed into his fist, laughing. My wife grabbed my hand and pressed it very hard. I muttered some banality, and the two of us excused ourselves. You often hear about what the old people know, as if merely enduring is supposed to imbue an individual with some intellectual and moral superiority. You rarely hear about the Constitution and any given child trafficking operation. Look it up. Try to find the average age of that demographic. I don't know that what's happening on our street is necessarily indicative of that demographic, but we sure as hell know what our street is up to. From our research, it's been going on for years. It's a very old neighborhood. My wife and I are not alone in our outrage. As I said, we are from a different generation. Our friends and ourselves have different perspectives and different expectations than the old people, different experiences. I'm donning a baklava, taking up a lead pipe I like to use for these occasions. Operating in tandem, our own private community has been able to sweep a half a dozen houses in very little time. Some died choking on food. Some overdose with the wrong combination of medicine, drugs, and booze. And lo and behold, for the first time in living memory, street crime took an old couple 2 blocks over only a few months ago, sitting in their house. Time for some new blood. Tonight's Scary was written by Plain Bat 3297.
If you enjoy the stories you find here, hit the like button. Think of it like applause at the end of a show. Please subscribe and click the top bell for all notifications so that you never miss an episode. And if you wouldn't mind, share this video so that others can discover The Scary Show. Questions, comments, suggestions? Let me know down below. The Scary Show always answers the fans, unless YouTube hides your comments from me.